Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to Show and Tell number 308. So, we're doing probably a little flippy dippy for the week. I'm not sure. I think this will go up on Saturday. Again, we're filming in pockets of time. I have a couple of minutes this morning to throw on some makeup, curl my hair, and in the 5 minutes it took me to get upstairs, we see how flat that got. So anyway, the carpenters are still working. We're still getting the bar replaced down here. We also had to have a support beam replaced. We haven't even gotten to the front door yet, so it'll probably be another week of them. The AC is working, and we do have a consistent temperature throughout the day now, but it is also no longer 100 degrees. The heat did break. Our highs are in the 90s for the rest of the week. I'm filming this on Wednesday. So for the rest of the week, it is going to be 90s kind of straight across the board. So it won't be 100, which is kind of nice. It is 100% humidity though, at least this morning, because we have gotten rain and stuff like that. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and now Wednesday has been 100% humidity, at least until noon. So 70 degrees, but 100% humidity, or 75 degrees, 100% humidity. Give a little, take a little, give a little, take a little. Kind of where we are. So, yeah, I don't have any finished objects. We have some WIPs to talk about. We have project getting ready to start, and we have some media to discuss real quick. But other than that, it's going to be an easy peasy lemon squeezy, real quick little video here. So let's pop on over to the works in progress. All right, so I was actually wrong. We do have a finished object. So that will follow this section. But very excited. To be cast on, next to cast on, is going to be Bougie New Year from Hypnotic Yarnable. And this is the cascade that I had pulled to go with that. This is part of the goal to use my yarnables as they come in. If I think that it's going to match better with something else, or in the case of July, I wanted to get the denim color to go with that yarn. I did find a better red to go with it. Anyway, I was going to go try to find it, but we're not going to do that. I don't have the time. I don't have the time for that this morning. So anyway, I did find the red, or better red to go with it, that is much deeper red. So I'm holding that. We'll get the denim to go with it, and then we will have a trio to work from for that. So I did pull Bougie New Year, which I think was from like 2022 New Year, 2022 or 2023 January. Troy said he wanted socks, so these will be socks for Troy. Now, in the theme of our Christmas in July make-along here, I am working on the buddy socks. These are to match my socks that I finished at the beginning of the year for myself. So we have matching socks for Christmas. Again, I know there's so many of you guys that are like rotating in that are newer subscribers. My husband and I are not the cutesy poo matchy couple. We're just not. But for some reason, when I saw this yarn, I was like, it would be super cute to have matching Christmas socks for Christmas. We go to Christmas Eve Mass, so Christmas Day is kind of us and the family. Like my stepkids and their families will come over and have mealtime and everything with us Christmas night. So it'd be kind of cute for us to have little matching socks. So mine have a red toe with sparkle. His, hopefully everything will be in the green here. I don't think he wants a red sparkly toe. I'm hoping the stripes match up to where we're not in the green for the heel. But this is a men's size 12, 72 stitches. 2 at a time. I'm using round toe. I would use the Shadow Wrap heel, and this is a Chalgu US 140-inch needle. So that is where we are on that. And this is in one of my T-Doddles mini maker bags. I love my Christmas dinosaur bag. I used it for my socks as well. We have the Christmas dinos on the outside. And then we have this really cool retro print on the inside. It's just a bag made to make Carrie happy. Like, it's just, most of Christy's bags are, though. She does a lot of whimsical prints in her bag. So I will leave her Etsy and her YouTube channel linked down below. Next up in our works in progress, I am at a standstill with my kerchief. So I have this far together. If I go one more round, I think it's going to be 20 inches at the top edge, which I think might make it too big. My ideal would be 18. I think if we go to 20, it may put us all the way meeting completely underneath my hair, which I think might make it too big, but I'm not sure how else to stretch out this edge. It is super cute though. This is using the Verbena flower square. I will have a link for that in the description box down below. And I am using Premier Superfine for this. So this is their new anti-pilling line. They were kind enough to send me a box of 12 of the new 20 colors in this new weight. So very excited to be working with it. I'm actually really, really enjoying the process of working with it. It is very similar to wool-like. I will probably do a video talking about it. Everybody knows I am a huge fan of the Premier Anti-Pilling line in general. That's kind of in my just yes yarn category. If they release something in the anti-pilling, I'm going to like it. This is not as tightly spun as some of the other anti-pilling, so it is working up a little bit differently. And you know, obviously crocheting with a finer thread is a little bit more fidgety, and I'm doing a fidgety project, but by and large, like, I'm finding this to be very easy to work with. It is very similar to loops and thread wool-like though. So if you're familiar with wool-like, where that one's almost like too thin to work with, this one's got a little bit more thickness to it. When I was doing my boo-boo flower here, this is a 4-row double crochet. Each one of these rows is based in a double crochet. And, you know, it's still a fairly sizable 4 rounds there. So we're not talking about something that's like microscopic to work with, but it is a little bit finer than, say, like traditional sock yarn. If you use a lot of Knit Picks yarn, it feels a little bit thinner than Stroll, but not to the point of being like a thread. Am I making sense? Anyway, we'll talk more about it in another video, I am sure, because I am really enjoying this. And this was a really good project to kind of play with this. And I'm loving the color combination. That mustard is so perfect with the 2 blues here. I am in love with this combination. So loving the project. I just have to make the decision on this. Do I want to take it out to the 4 rows? And I think, like I said, I think that's going to be 20 inches wide, because we're at like 15 now. So I think that's going to make it 20 inches wide. And then I'm just not sure I'm going to have room to tie it. I could, I guess, put a button loop on it. A button and a button loop. And just accept I'm going to have to use like hairpins to keep it in place. I don't know. See, this is where we're hitting right on the tops of my ears. Maybe it won't be too bad with the next row. I paused doing more flowers because of that. Anyway, loving it. Think it's absolutely gorgeous. The last work in progress I have is this pocket shawl. If I can refine the pattern, I will. It's a free one from Menos del Uruguay. I have altered it though. I am not sure why this was not written to be in the round to begin with, but I did sew this wrong. That's an oops on me. I did sew this kind of cattywampus, but this is a pocket scarf. So I have completed the pocket, and it's done in double seed stitch. And now I am working in garter stitch, decreasing 50% slowly. And it gives you a place to put your hand in your scarf. Loving the pattern so far. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's not a hard pattern. The pattern is written for it to be sewn up the front. And the only reason why I would say sew it versus what I did doing it in the round is it'll give you a little bit more firmness here. But I can easily just take a little thread and put a bar tack in there just to prevent this from gapping there. And also I am slipping the first stitch of my rows now that I'm working back and forth in rows. Again, we have another Chow Goo needle. This is a size 8, 32 inch. And I believe these were actually from Joann's because these are the ones that have little textures on them. But I'm using the little Sheepies stitch markers or stitch stoppers. So, and the marker that I have here is from Melanie Crochets. This was the Valentine's ones that she sent me. And I believe this one came in one of our yarnables. So it was just the closest one I had at hand. My little container I've had beside the sofa for a while now is missing from the 4th of July cleanup. So I'm not sure what happened there. Anyway, that is all of my works in progress. So real quick, we'll pop over and talk about FOs. And I have a little video clip about that. And then we'll do media and head on out for the day. Okie dokie artichoke. So I did finally finish the Sherlock socks. I'll pop a picture up here. I took a quick little video though before I dropped these off in the mail. So let's slide on over to that video. Hey guys, so inserted video here for the Sherlock socks finally being done. We have the marker here. So when y'all saw these, and show and tell 307, that's where they were. We are finally done. These are going in the mail today. So my dad has them Wednesday and can wear either these or the 8-bit socks on Thursday. And they'll also go in the mail with the bag from the Mondo Llama kit for my niece so she can carry around her little giblets in there. But I'm pretty excited. It's a thoroughly ucky yucky day this Monday morning. So if I can get these packaged up now, I can throw them in the mailbox. I think I've got like an hour before the mail comes. If not, I'll have to run down to the post office to make sure they go out today. But everything is ready to go up to Ohio and go live the rest of their lives in the Midwest. All right, so yeah, I'm very excited. Those are there as of filming right now. They're out for delivery. So hopefully editing Carrie will have popped in what he said about the 8-bit socks and the Sherlock socks. But I also sent the bag for my niece. I think I included that in the little video clip. So we'll see if he had an opportunity to get by my brother's house and drop that off for her as well. Thursday, he has a doctor's appointment. Hopefully he'll wear one of the new pairs of socks for that. That's normally the day he picks up my niece from school, I believe. So I don't know if he has plans of going over there today or if he will wait until after his doctor's appointment on Thursday to go over there. Either way, he'll see my brother so he can just hand it off to my little brother. So anyway, that is my FO. So on to media. All right, I am not going to wax on poetic any further about this book. I did finally finish the epilogue. Loved it. Like I said before, I learned a couple of new things about the mission overall. I learned a lot about Jim Lovell. If you missed the last review where I was talking about really loving the voicing, you can tell it's his voicing. The pacing is definitely his. I think the co-author probably did some massaging, especially when it came to the epilogue. The epilogue had a very different voicing than the narrative of Apollo 13 did. Overall, I have to say, it was a very fascinating read. It is... Like I said, it's dry because it is just kind of a historical retelling of what's going on, but there are lots of drop-ins of narrative. And the final wrap-up, we're getting more retired Jim Lovell feels, which is probably also why we have such a change in the voicing for the epilogue. But anyway, I loved it. I definitely recommend it if you, once again, are interested in the space program, interested in kind of knowing more about one of the astronauts. This is definitely Jim Lovell's story, though. So while it's a lot of stuff that happened in the mission and being the one in control, It is his timing, his pacing, his retelling of the story. But I thought it was really interesting. So I have talked enough about this as I was listening to it. I don't want to spend a ton of time rehashing the same things I've said over and over again. Overall, especially as I was listening to it in audiobook format, I'm giving this a B+. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't say enough. I did start a new audiobook. It's called like Apartment 16 or something. It's supposed to be a gothic thriller. So we'll see how that pans out. But I'm only like through the introduction of the character. I don't know anything about what's going on yet. So I can't say anything as to that. Now, lastly, we have been watching 1960s thriller hosted by Boris Karloff. And this is like, Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, anthology series. I think it ran from 1960 to 1962. There's a total of like 60 episodes or 58 episodes or something like that. We've watched on YouTube now maybe 6 of them. We started just kind of randomly watching random episodes. And then we moved over to, okay, I pulled it up. Here's the episode list. So I think we've watched 3 episodes in order, and we've watched 3 episodes out of order. So far, I think my favorite, it's the one about the 3 dolls. I'll try to put the title up here. I'll have to look at the list and see which one that one was. Hungry Glass was another one we watched. That one has the professor from Gilligan's Island and William Shatner in it. So that one was, kind of fun. These all seem to have, at the time, up and coming to be famous actors or people who were already established at the time. This was definitely not a throwaway series. And even a lot of the actors, you maybe don't know their name or can't quite figure out where you've seen them before. A lot of them, and the background actors, you've seen and stuff. Like, you are familiar with them. Like, one of the actresses, I think it's the, not the woman married to Bill Shatner's character, but the one married to the guy that played the professor's character. She was on General Hospital, I think, or Days of Our Lives for like 1,600 episodes. So, I mean, she was on there for multiple years playing a mainstay character. And she's one of those people where, her countenance is something you can recognize. There was somebody else that I'd pulled up where it's like they're in like 500 things. And a lot of it's television, but they played like a reoccurring character that showed up for like 2 seasons on a show. So they're in like 5 episodes over 2 seasons of something. So overall, I mean, we're really enjoying it, but with anthologies, each story is different. Now, one thing I will say seems to be extremely consistent. Not only did they get good actors for this, the production quality for 1960, this is exceptional. Like, it is really good and well done. And it's, it doesn't feel dated in that like cheesy way. Like, you can tell, like, you don't ever quite lose the fact that this is, a 60-year-old television show. But you aren't distracted at all by the fact that this is a 60-year-old television show. It is done better than a lot of movies in the 60s. I do have to say the production quality on this is good. There are some episodes that seem to have some volume control issues where people seem to be muttering and murmuring and stuff. But overall, the production for these has been phenomenal. So highly recommend. The only place we can find this, though, is on YouTube. There is another show called Thriller from like 1970 or 1973 on Amazon Prime, and that is something different. That's not the one hosted by Boris Karloff. There's one episode on Amazon that's hosted by Boris Karloff, but the rest of the Boris Karloff ones are on YouTube. So we're watching them through YouTube. Anyway, that is all I have for you this week. It's been, again, with the just general crazies, but we're hopefully, you know, there is a kind of a distant glimmer of slowdown for maybe a week. August is already kind of booked out right now, and September is starting to book out. The Southern Comfort Fiber Market is the first full week in August. I believe it's the 7th and 8th. I could be wrong again on screen. Any corrections? So I will be at that. I think I'm going up on Thursday this year. I'll be staying Thursday and Friday night. That way I have a full day on Friday where I'm feeling refreshed and a full day on Saturday where I'm feeling refreshed. So normally I film on Friday, shop on Saturday. So anyway, I've got that. We have a couple other things that we have going on, and it's just little things where like one full day is going to be taken away from my week, or I've got doctor's appointments here and here, and it's already turning into a scheduling nightmare. So anyway, August is already pretty much booked out. We're crossing our fingers. Maybe in September we'll have a little bit more, but it's a little bit more controlled in August, I think. So we'll see how it pans out. There's no telling. Anyway, I love you. I hope you're having a wonderful, fantastic day. As always, I look forward to seeing you real soon. Please take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.